Hi, everyone. You're watching Main Character Energy with Kai and Ansh, and we'd love to welcome you back on our show. And today we are going to talk about something that is so relevant. Uh, it's about bringing up kids in today's day and age, and it's a hard topic because we all feel very differently about it, especially about the stuff that's going on social media at the moment. And my co-host Anjali is going to tell you more about it, and she's going to discuss it. And being a parent and being a single person, we obviously have different views, which is good. Because then we can always speak about it and we can always discuss it. I'm sure all of you also have the same. So,
Yeah, I think we have lots of different views, many things, which is great.
which is great. Yeah.
But yeah, so in terms of, I think recently everyone's been talking about that child on Kaun Banega Crorepati, right?
Yes.
I don't remember his name, but he was this overconfident kid. I'm sure you've seen those reels.
Yeah.
Where basically, Amitabh Bachchan kept asking him questions,
Hmm.
and he kept kind of saying, just move on to the next. He was rude. It was rude, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he was saying the answers before this,
Yeah,
which again, I do that. I'm like, why are you through these four
yeah,
days?
when I was watching, I was like, oh, this is how Kai must have been like a child. now.
Yeah, okay, but why? Why is it like that? I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, which fruit is red and round, and it keeps you away from the doctor? I'm going to say apple. I'm not getting for the
No, but it
no,
was just that. He was just like, "Arey, pata hai, just move." There's a tone. There's a way of talking to someone who's that so much your senior. I mean, come on. Other people come on the show and they're always like, "Arey, Amit, you have to give that."
But always, this generation really do they know Amit ji so much as we
No, I think everyone knows from the time that he's got that, like, if you think about it, over the years, kids just born, he's like, his stardom has been there, right?
Right.
Throughout, I think.
Yeah.
But more than that, it's not just about him as a stand. That's why you give respect. It's about the fact that you've come on a show.
Yeah.
There is someone hosting, and have the patience to at least listen to them. So I'll tell you, I mean, I understood, why people were trolling and all of that. I got the point people were making. But at the end of the day, you also have to remember this is a 10-year-old child. So I think on the internet, people also tend to get too, their opinions are so strong, and you don't realize that you have trolled a 10-year-old child. Like, that's wrong, right? Now imagine that kid, and everyone is talking about it and how it affects his image and self-image and all of that.
Yeah.
That's not right. I mean, I think it's important to call out things, sure, and you can point things out, but people really take it to another level.
Yeah.
And I just feel like in general, these days, if you see, and this brings to the larger topic, which is, I just feel like people have lost that tolerance towards children. You see it all the times, and of course, you would know on flights, right? And I'm sure you have lots of stories about that, which we will get into. But I'll just tell you, because I have a son. He's now 7. But when he was younger, as a baby and all of that, I remember the first flight I was taking and stuff. I was so conscious that, oh my God, if he cries, now everyone's going to stare at me. And people will be like, you're the menace on the flight. But then, and I have read so much online about it, where people will be like, oh, people should just not travel with children, till they turn like an age where you can. But is that, so that's not a logical solution. I mean, we all have family and live far. You're sometimes traveling for unavoidable reasons. You can't just be like, oh, lock up all kids and never let them.
So that's what happened on flights, right? I mean, now we talking about it, like we as flight attendants, so we would always be like, oh, when some are very nice, but of course, someone like me and a few others, we're like, oh man, there's another child on board who's now going to disturb everyone else, and now they'll all come and complain to us because we won't get disturbed because we are doing our work with the galleys. What really happens is kids, especially, they don't talk. They just run around the aisles, and this is something which is safety, right? You're having a hot tea and coffee, and then the child just runs in the aisles, and they think that it's a playground. It's not their fault because it looks like a playground to them. For 9 hours, 8 hours, I mean, I can't sit 1 hour in one place. I don't say easy.
Exactly. Especially on these long flights, we as adults struggle, right? So then now, expecting a child to be like prim and proper and well behaved the whole time, it's a bit unrealistic. You can't expect that from a child. Of course, it is the parent's duty. And it's not that I'm saying that I would just let my child lie down in the aisle and like kick his hikes or whatever. Some parents tend to, I think, just not take any ownership, and they're just like, do whatever. Which is not right.
Tell the others, we have your fell of you, let us talk the others. It's not fair.
Yeah, so that can, and I understand that really can be a menace. So I have been also on another flight where another child was just continuously talking, and his mother gave up. She put like something on her face. He's like, but he's not disturbed with the whole flight. And later I started feeling bad because I think he might have even had a condition.
So
Actually,
this is again a point, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know about the channel on KBC, but children have a lot of this, and especially today, ADHD is so like
ADHD, autism.
yeah, like even it's like these kids have certain, and if he could have been that,
Yeah.
or maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just a child who doesn't have that kind of matters. But again, then that brings that to your parents. You know, again, we cannot put the onus on the kid either ways. If he has a condition, then obviously it happens. Because I remember that I used to know somebody with the Tourette, you know, and he's an adult, and whenever we went out, he would just scream out something. He can't help himself. On a flight, that would be embarrassing to go for him, because he'd be sitting on a flight and suddenly he says something loudly and everyone's staring at him, but he can't help it. It is Tourette. Tourette is a condition like that.
Yeah.
Go for a movie, suddenly something happened in the movie and he's screaming about it, and it's so whatever's coming in his head, it's in on his mouth.
Yeah.
He cannot help it. It is impossible to do it.
Correct.
So then they put them on all those sorts of medication, etc. But it still doesn't help.
Yeah.
So you never know like what it is,
Exactly.
right?
So I think people are so
Yeah.
quick to judge, but
Yeah.
you really don't know whether the child has a condition. As we're saying, it could be Asperger's, it could be autism these days. A lot of kids
could
are
be
on the
anything.
spectrum.
Yeah, on the
Some
spectrum.
are, it's more, some is less.
Yeah.
And ADHD, and I've seen that, when there is hyperactivity, it's not really, sometimes everyone is like, oh, the parents are not doing anything. But these kids, they just can't control their impulses. So their impulses are very impulsive, and they just want to press things, touch things, not able to sit still.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Especially in this day and age, everything we can't sit still for 5 seconds. Even me, like I'm all six chats and six things at one time. It's so difficult. So imagine the children, because they're so that's all they know. They don't know what it is.
I think especially back in the day, though, no one used to look into this. Parents would also just like ignore stuff. That your kid is also showing certain symptoms of something they just didn't want to know, and they'd be like, no, the child is just a child. At least today, I do think there is some education and awareness around things.
Yeah.
So that's made things better. And of course, then there are, the more you see it in movies, and then even in movies like Sitare Zameen Par, which is kind of it's showing people that every for these parents who have kids who are specially able, that's the normal, and that's their normal, and they're special in their way, and you have to kind of love them for who they are. They're your child, right? So that acceptance then comes in. And of course, the original first movie, which was Tare Zameen Par, what that did for dyslexia awareness, I think, was great, because before that, people just weren't talking about it, right?
The next one is also on autism, right?
Correct.
I think,
That one, exactly. So the point is that
But do you think that, like, you're saying all this, no, Anjali, but sometimes it's like, I feel, okay, these are all the conditions, right? It is all that. What if he doesn't have that? Then I think it's perils.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to know how to control your child. I'm sorry, I know you're a mother and it's very difficult, and I myself know how difficult it is, because we are, we have a child at home. Of course, now he's much older, but there are certain things that you just can't do. You just cannot, and you cannot even deal with them. And there's a point, but still it is, and I feel personally that it is what you tell the child, how you train the child, from the child he's 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You can't train a child at 8, 9, 10. They already have their own individuality, personality. You can't tell a child, now this red is blue. No, you've told him it's red. Now you have to stick to that red, right? Because very difficult to teach manners much later. He can't punish them also when they're late. When they're younger, they're fearful. Okay, if I don't do this, I don't do this. Now, what is it? Like, I don't care. Like, whatever. I'm not bothered. I'm sure you get that also.
Now, of course, see, definitely, and this was not to say that the parents are, can just rely on saying that, oh, this is how my child is, and everyone must accept. No, I think with everything, obviously, you can't be extreme. So parents obviously take the ownership of disciplining their kids, all of that. But and that is why these days there is so much criticism for gentle parenting, right? Which is, we know when we were kids, our parents would just like, my son will get one slap.
Yeah, like I just put a joke on Insta. I said the first flying drone was your mother's chopper.
Yeah, exactly. But these days, as a parent, I mean, I know, because I don't want to raise my hand on my child, and I really try. Yeah, we got a lot, right? Our parents were just like, they would not stand for nonsense, and it's like you did. But now it's because, again, we also have this awareness about trauma and childhood trauma. Then, we know that this can really impact your child, how it impacts you and your confidence. So it is, I think parents today, there really is this catch-22, because you want to bring up your children well and discipline, but then you also want to not do things that your parents did, because you know that can't you. So you don't want to give your child that trauma. But I think at the end of the day, you've got to kind of balance it out. You can't just let your kid do whatever.
Yeah.
Because that also happens. And we've all seen certain times where you're like, why is that parent not saying anything to the child and just letting the child get away with it, right?
Again, Indian parents, I should not say that, but Indian parents are much more tolerant to all this, because I experienced that on flight.
Yeah.
Okay, you would see a kid, okay, a kid who is not an Indian. Sorry, I'm definitely not. I will talk.
No, it's true. I know what
It's the foreigners, the foreigner kid. I mean, 8 hours, 9 hours, that child is sitting just just like he's supposed to sit. There is no running around. There is no
Yeah.
nothing. It's like sitting, and not that he's getting video games. He may be watching something. He has to sit. He has to read. He has to paint. We give children things on the fly, right? Like get these flyer packs, whatever. That one pack he used for 3 hours for our child would paint. He's so sorry to say, but I've seen our kids paint the color of the aircraft. Yeah, but that's not, and they're sitting there. So these children are obviously not high on whatever. There's no rush on them. They are fine. So there is upbringing, there is a training, right? But there's another child on the other eye who's decided he wants to destroy the aircraft, and everyone's piece of fine. It's usually a Korean kid, and then you have these Farang kids who are sitting so peacefully, and they're thinking, how is that possible? This guy's younger. He should be even more. There's nothing. It's like that. So here it comes to the point that you have to, they're strict. You have to say, listen, this is it. There's no choice. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Our guys are like, okay, jao, khelo. Khelo.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen both sides. I know exactly what you're saying. But I also understand that, as parents, sometimes, especially on these long flights and stuff, it's like a 15-hour flight.
Yeah.
By the 13th hour or something, the parent is also like, I can't, I'm just so
It's like first class. I think that is really should not be there, because you're paying like lakhs for a first class ticket, and a child is jumping on the seat behind you and shaking. It just reminds you of
whole experience. Yeah. But that's used to happen on your flight.
Yeah, so they had you could get infants in first, but that was like, very scared to put an infant in first or a business class, because these people have paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if the child wails through the night, you can maybe stop a child from jumping. How can you stop a child from crying? You give something, but they cry because you know what happens? Yeah, the ears, they're very confused. They don't know where they are. It's a new environment. So that's where the airline thing that comes, which we've obviously.
Actually, lots of stories.
And it's trying to be very, and still trying to be compassionate while talking. Then I understand. No, but
When it's your job and you're like dealing with this day in and day out, you guys must be really frustrated with the crying kids. I understand.
But worse are the prying adults. Like they are. No, as in like let her fly, crying as in like complaining the whiny, the wine, those were even more than the children. Because you can still control. Imagine a person who wants to drink his 7th whiskey and he's like falling all over the
Yeah, exactly. And how do you control that? Yes, and I recently experienced that also. Like where this old Indian uncle, like he was so loud, and he was just like,
they took,
yeah, I think he was clearly drunk, and he was just going on talking to this person next to him, but so loud that like everyone could hear. And I was just getting a headache. I was already coming down.
We should do an entire episode on flight.
That's sort of like the stories can never end there. But I was coming, you cut me off. I was coming down to the floor. I was like, "Arey, uncle, stop, yeah." But it was so painful. So I get this whole thing. And I remember a friend had told me once she was on a flight and this kid puked on her, which is terrible. Obviously, I mean, if that had to happen, you'd be like, "What the actual hell?"
How to head that?
But I just feel like somewhere maybe our world we are losing that compassion, and especially when people don't have kids, I think then it becomes, like sometimes I've seen it's really funny where, like once someone asked me, what's your take on motherhood and everything? And I said, my take on motherhood is that each parent has to make their own rules, and you kind of, because people will keep telling you things, you will get lots of knowledge from everywhere, but you know your kid best. So you have to trust your gut when it comes to bringing up your child. And what used to really irk me is that there are people who don't have kids who have strong opinions on things, and they will tell you that, oh, you should do this, or why isn't this person big? That I'm like, dude, have a child first.
Yeah.
Because as parents, it's a joke. We always know, sometimes we also as parents will judge other parents. You see a child big something and you'll be like, oh, my kid would never do. And there's a funny meme about this that, parents will say, my kid would never do. And then the very next day, your child will go and end up doing that. And, so don't And I think now when I think about it, I remember when I was single, my sister had a kid, and he was very well behaved and all that. And I remember comparing, and I met another child who was his age. And I remember saying, oh, but my nephew behaves so nicely. And I was kind of judging that child.
Yeah.
And then maybe some way of karma, because then when I became a mother, I was in those situations where my child would not listen, or where, I've had to control him and be like, oh God. So I think it's very easy to judge, but it's only when you are in that situation as a parent that you understand.
Yeah.
And I do think, just the larger thing of bringing up children in today's day and age, it's not that easy. Even we've had the kids' grandparents tell me, or older relatives saying, "Arey, I don't know how you guys to tum log to just pal jate the," kind of a thing. Like, nowadays you parents, you all just, make it out to be such a big.
But even food choices and all.
Yeah.
Like you're giving children so much choice because there is choice, right? And you're giving them, Acha, today what you want to do? Today you want to watch TV or you want to do the iPad? Or do you want to eat this? You already given the child that importance that, you know what? I'm going to call the shots now. Okay, in his mind now, he is as important. He was, of course, we do it with the best of intention, right?
Yeah.
You know what you feel like having. In us, what were you asked what you feel like having? This is it. You don't. That's okay. Well, it didn't happen with us, but that is it.
But I was like, this is the food.
This is all you're having. No, you're not going to ask for something else. We don't want to eat it. Then fine, you can have it for dinner.
Yeah.
Or I'll make it again. So these are the choice. You're giving a child a choice in his mind that it's okay to have these kind of strong opinions. Okay. So when you already told the child that opinions are okay, you can think, and you do the best of intention. Again, you want your child to think for yourself, to stand up for yourself, because this is the age where they need to stand up for themselves. Even a 6-year-old gets so bullied, and that's another topic again.
Correct.
But you know that you tell him, you know what, you got to be strong, you got to stand up for yourself. So he will or she will stand up everywhere. Now, you can't just say you stand up only in front of her and not.
That's the thing.
They obviously are already very strong-minded already.
Yeah.
So then you don't expect them to go out and even imagine how confident that child is already. At home, we are making him Raja Beti, Rahi Beti. We made him so much confident. Okay, you can do what you want, this, that. You go on a TV show, example. You feel okay, fine, it's okay. I mean, I'm so like, I also like, I'm there, like, I'm on a television, I'm on national TV. So again, you already given him that. So again, as a parent, you have to kind of balance the whole thing, right? It's all about balancing.
That's
in everything. You need to tell them, yes, this is important, but this is the way you talk to elders.
Yeah.
This is not your peer.
Correct.
This is not someone in school who's asking you questions. Imagine as a teacher, you tell your teacher, I already know this, what you're writing on the board. Yeah, of course. Yeah, children are brats. I believe that sometimes teachers are like dears.
Oh, teachers have the toughest job, honestly. And that's what, once you become a parent is when you realize that teachers are so underpaid. They actually deserve all of the money in the world. Because we struggle, with like one child and bringing up one child. Imagine now a classroom full of, at least these days, in IB schools and everything, the numbers are like 15 kids a class.
Yeah.
But, back when we were growing up also, each class would have like some 40 kids. So imagine one person now trying to,
control these children.
Yeah.
This generation.
It takes a lot of skill, and no doubt that this generation is entitled for sure, especially growing up in an urban city like Mumbai, Delhi, all of this. You have got a lot of exposure already.
Yeah.
If you just think now, when I look at, say, my 7-year-old and the amount of exposure he has compared to what I had at that age.
Or even anything I'd say.
Yeah, we were dumb if you look, think about it.
Yeah.
So definitely this, these kids are much smarter,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing. But then again,
They've become adults too fast.
yeah, they're becoming adults
Such
too
a
fast.
childhood.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like somewhere that thing about that pressure also parents are putting on kids. They're putting them in hundreds of classes, you learn their toy and everything. But then we're also taking away their childhood and just letting them be kids,
Learning, competing, it's too much. You're giving
all of that.
Yeah.
So I think, it's tough for kids also, I guess, if you see, all the pressure that parents put sometimes. And, just in this world where you're growing up with so many distractions. I mean, we used to only have TV as a distraction.
Right.
As you're right, these guys had the iPad, there's, social media, all of that. So there's a lot.
YouTube, it's like constant.
There's a lot to consider, but all I'll say is giving the parents' perspective is it's not easy. So I just personally, I do wish that people will be more compassionate and, and kind of empathetic to moms. Because also when you become a new mom, it's also new. And I remember at that time also, people are not, you'd expect people to be kind or helpful or whatever, but it doesn't always happen. especially about like even things like breastfeeding in public. And people have got such strong opinions about that. And they're like, oh my God, it's India. Of course, like I used to nurse, but I had my cover and all of that. But, outside in the US and stuff, sometimes people will just nurse and they don't have the cover. But again, I mean, they're just providing food to their child. You're bothering you don't look.
Again, I know, like, I mean, you need to go into and do a private space and do that.
But then that's
Why do the public need to be subjected to your?
But if it's something's bothering you, I personally think just look away. Why do you have to judge that?
Yeah, but in family, then what do I do?
So don't look, laugh. I mean, when people are dressed skimpily or whatever, and also their stuff is on display, then you don't say, no, why are you being indecent?
So there we go.
So either it's a personal choice, and
No, I don't know personal choice. I know what you're saying. I mean, of course, I can understand. I mean, the child is hungry. The child is hungry.
yeah,
But
there are people who live.
say that there is, and the US or wherever. I mean, people are not that this. If you have to feed the child, they will do it anyways, and they know how to.
But then people criticize, and then but that's the thing. Then you need to have more spaces where you have these breastfeeding rooms and stuff in malls and all of that. Airports and all have it. No, nowadays they do have it, but some places may not have it. In which case, what is the mom supposed to do? Just tell your child, starve because people are gonna get her a diet from now on. Yeah, right. People will actually say, "Oh, go to the washroom and do it," but it'll ask you, "Would you like to eat food in the toilet?"
Oh my God, it's spoken like a true mother.
No. I think I will always give that a perspective, but that's what I'm saying. You only realize certain things when you become parent, because you've gone through it, right? You've been in those situations and you realize the difficulties. But I think it's and I think in general, I don't see people being more compassionate to children. I think it's just going to get worse because especially in India also, more and more people are choosing not to have kids, right? I think that there are these statistics also which I was looking at, and fertility rate has definitely fallen. I think it used to become, now it's 1.9 child kids per mother, like it's just an average. But basically, we know that it's all in, and in
What is 1.9 kids to do? Because what happens to the child?
now what you read it like what why that like where one of the but you understand what I mean. It is an average, but basically back in the day people were having 5 kids, 6 kids.
This is now it's always mostly they're choosing one.
Yeah, one, and many couples are just like we don't want kids, and
Absolutely, because they're money draining, energy draining, time draining.
it's just but of course, yes, no, it's a
But they keep dogs them. I say that like expensive.
yeah, no, but that's the thing. I mean, becoming a parent, there's expensive that you don't
Send your dog to school. No, I'm sure some people are considering it, dog lovers.
No, but if people go, of course, then they want to spoil their pets. There are the dog clothing and all that. There's no,
It's still there, but still the education is not there, which is really expensive.
the fees of the Ivy schools and everything, of course, it's crazy these days. So what parents are ending up spending on bringing up a child, that has increased exponentially, which is why so many people are choosing not to have kids. But then I think for the ones who, if you don't have kids, great, that's your choice. But now you see someone with the child, I think show little empathy, every now and then at least.
And kids are complex also. When you scream and you shout like this somewhere, I think it's a lot of complex also. They're trying to get something on them. Like, I mean, just think if you have an inferiority complex, even in adults, right? When you feel inferior, you do things. You either withdraw or then you start doing things that are totally unnatural. You're like, what the hell is wrong with this person? But actually, he's just trying to cover up for something that he feels very less about.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that goes for kids as well, because I think my 7, 8, their personalities are already, they're already dealing with all things, ego, confidence, everything. School is not easy at all anymore.
Yeah.
So, we can also, we can wind it up by saying that, we need to be, as you said, you need to be more compassionate towards kids. And I say that, parents need to get their act together and make sure that their kids grow up to be good human beings and not aggressive or dominating towards their peers and to other people.
Yeah.
And this is so important because I feel like, so many, if you hear, I mean, I don't want to say it, but so many kids, they feel they harm themselves. Why? Because they feel there's a lot of things that are happening within their own peer group. And this comes like, ask any parent and they'll be like, no, my child is cold. My child is an angel. No, your child is a devil. Devil. And he's a devil. You just want to pretend he's an angel.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
whitewash thing.
Yeah, no, if I was a mother, I mean, I would pamper my child, spoil him to the T because I'm like that. But I would make sure that I take onus, I take responsibility, and I make sure that my child apologizes if he's done or she's done something really like, unworthy. I would not be in denial.
Yeah.
So this is something that is very body.
Spoken like a true person who doesn't have a child who's but I know. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, because I feel this with my own people, like, oh, my child could not have done that too.
Yeah, that
to my
you can't be like that. If someone is
Yeah.
coming and telling you, my child, your child hit my child or something. If when that has happened, and of course it happens when your kids are younger, I'd be the first person to say I'm so sorry, and and correct your child, but you can't do that. It's not, it's not that, and then take that ownership. But a lot of people have
no defense. No, my child doesn't hit anyone at all. Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
He was eating you also.
Exactly. So, I mean, that teaching your kid that no, if you made a mistake, please go apologize. And you also apologize. Like a lot of people do have that ego where they will not.
Ego and stupidity, like just think that kid is like everything. That's not sorry, but Indian parents really think that the kid is everything.
I mean, I've always wondered how people do that because I think self-awareness is
Of course.
like people to even think we are. I mean,
So many delulu people at the board. You talk about some common rules delulu, but
I think in general, people need to have awareness about themselves, and then that will also go. Then, if you do that, you'll also have awareness of your children. So you know your kids' flaws and your kids, what they're good at, what they're bad at, and it's up to you to kind of give them a reality check also. But then, as we've spoken, I remember we've spoken about this where in the past I was telling you, I had one of my aunts who used to always praise her kid for everything, no matter what she would do, nothing special. Also, Arey, my child is amazing. And I used to tell my mom, you never praise us. And she would be like, I don't want to spoil you. So I think there's a balance. And somewhere, when you're also constantly criticizing a child, that of course then takes a toll on the child's confidence. So I think it's up to the parent to just kind of, use your discretion, balance, and kind of correct your kid when they're wrong, but also praise them when they do something right. And that is the way to kind of.
I would love to know what everyone thinks about this because a lot of people are watching who would be probably mothers, fathers, and what they think about this. Because I would like to know what other people think. What about you? You think that?
No, of course. See, I can only speak from my own experience. That's what that's why I'm saying that, what.
Unlike my single people also. Are you with me?
Yeah. It's like, I'm sure single people are with you, but I know that for a parent, it is not easy in today's day and age. And I know, like, if it shows like adolescence, if you watched on Netflix, it was so scary for someone picking up a child today to realize that your kid, you don't know what they're picking up on social media. That was what they're kind of thinking. And, it was
You just don't know what
that show was really scary to watch because the parents were like a normal couple.
social media.
And then one daughter turned out to be so, sweet and normal. And then this kid goes and so young.
What they've done, what goes on in there.
As a parent, I think that's always the biggest fear, that you could even give your kid the best values, but then they might just, get bad company, certain friends, something they're exposed to, and you really never know. So I think not everything is actually in the parents' control, but where you can control things, please control as much as you can. Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is a topic we can obviously continue debating on.
Absolutely.
But I think at the end of the day, I think all I have to say is that people should, I think for the people who don't have kids, show some empathy and kindness towards kids. And please don't troll children. I think that's also very wrong. Trolling anyways has an effect on mental health. And now imagine doing that to a child. And you really don't know, how that will impact them later.
So I was school also,
Yeah. So don't do that. And parents, of course, we have to keep bringing up our kids the best we can. But yeah, let's try and make our kids self-aware and not entitled brats, I guess. Yes. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thanks for watching.
And thank you. And we'll be back with more.
And subscribe.
Of course, subscribe is always like, share, subscribe. Don't forget.